Kate, so let's go to the second part there. So to be stronger entrepreneurs, these young entrepreneurs, what might be skills they might learn from the West, from the U.S. or other, as they grow their companies, as they develop?
I think how to work and communicate with the Western world. That would be a skill. Because when they are accustomed with the current situation, current mindset, they do not understand or could not foresee what's in others' mindset. So in a way, it might create certain misunderstandings, but actually those misunderstandings were caused because of their limited views of the world. And the same thing for the others. But the other entrepreneurs, Western entrepreneurs, they are able to travel all around the world. So since they are little, so they are already used to how to talk with Danish, how to talk with the French, how to talk with Italian. They understand the differences, the diversity. But the Chinese entrepreneurs, because we just developed within 30 years.
Sure.
So not so many people being able to travel around the world, especially for entrepreneurs, successful entrepreneurs and the businessmen reach to a certain age, and maybe they start traveling within the 10 years, and they lose a certain sensitivity. But for the young ones, now we encourage them to go around and to talk with foreigners and mingle and social with them in order to understand them. So if you are it's like this. You come here, you get a personal feeling. If they have never been there, you tell them how beautiful is the view, and they don't get a picture. So I think they should travel.
Exactly.
That's why we would like to provide these platforms globally in order for them to travel, to meet with different people. Then they will be innovative and also inspired by different mindsets from different places.
I couldn't agree more. Some of my work is working in innovation with groups from China.
Right.
And increasingly the groups come for longer periods of time. I worked with a group recently where they actually went to Pittsburgh, which is a new center, especially for traditional companies, more like manufacturing, where they learn new innovation. And they were actually in Pittsburgh for 3 months. And they spoke very good English, and then they came to San Francisco for a week or so. And this cultural shift you talk about, it takes travel and it takes work. So this has been wonderful. I've really enjoyed this. I wanted to end with something, since we're from two parts of the world. I was born in San Francisco, even though my father was born in London. And his father was born in Latvia, right? So very international. Now, you were born here. I thought it might be nice to end with, what we can each learn from each other and from our custom and culture. And maybe if you might leave me with like what I might learn from China, here and in my next trip, and what I might look for and listen for.
Well, I would like to share with you a Chinese wise man saying, which is from Tao Te Ching. That is the second most popular book in the world. The first one is the Bible. Okay. Okay, before saying this, I would like to say that when I was in San Francisco, I often heard, go with the flow. And then the Tao is stay still. So stay still is like a mountain, right? Never move. And then go with flow is like water. So you keep moving. So according to Tao, the more you move, the more you yield. And then Tao also say, the still is the master of unrest. So how to control the flow is to be still.
Interesting.
Yeah. So this is to say to stay still is one part. Move is another part. We should combine the Western and the Oriental culture and ways of doing. So not just stay in one way,
Right.
just go with the flow. And we also have a saying: the more you move, the faster you die. So we need to combine
A balance.
the balance. Yes.
So maybe just finally, I know I have had the good fortune to greet you in San Francisco and spend time with you there. And what do you think entrepreneurs and business people here in China might learn from a trip to San Francisco? I love the metaphor, but maybe,
Right.
what else?
Well, I think apart from the fantastic views in San Francisco, visiting those co-working spaces are very good, and
Mhm.
also universities. And the Chinese are dying to learn and to being open-minded and open-hearted. In this way, they are really growing, especially from the spiritual point of view, rather than the material. Those who are able to go abroad have already reached to a certain level of material. So when they go there, they are willing to learn, like in the universities, like co-working spaces, and meet other startups and entrepreneurs. Those are also learners in a way.
Mhm.
So we just give them a label, entrepreneurs or startups. But if you run a company, you are actually in another form of learning system. For example, like my company doing research, we constantly, are learning from the clients, from the market information, and from communications, from everywhere. And we gather all kinds of resources, information to
Right.
form a report. And then we are enhanced. That's why all those researchers, they are very happy, because every time when you learn something new, they get excited. And
Mhm.
that's much better than a bag they buy.
Yes.
And this is from my colleague. Yeah. So,
More valuable.
yeah, more valuable.
Right.
Yeah.
I couldn't agree more. I have found myself with the groups who come from China that they're the most curious and hardworking.
Right.
And I've seen that in the last few years. Kate, thank you so much. I
Thank you.
really